What is up, everybody? This is Maximilian, and I gotta tell you, I've actually had this recorded for an incredibly long time, probably about 2.5 weeks or so, and it just occurred to me, like, a few hours ago that I hadn't actually recorded anything for this yet or uploaded it. So, my bad. This is what happens when you get really absent-minded and you don't think for about a month. But, I digress. It's starting to hit me like a brick wall that I'm actually going to be leaving the country in a week. So I've been stressing out like crazy, and I'm trying to get everything situated and packed together, make sure everything's in order. How am I going to get from the airport to the university? All this kind of thing. And I'm really hoping that these voltage adapters I bought work, because I really don't want to fry my Xbox 360 8,000 miles away from home, or wherever I'm going to be, how far I'm going to be. So I'm really crossing my fingers here, because going abroad is definitely not as easy as you might think it is. There's so much stuff you have to take care of and a lot of paperwork to go through, and it is just nowhere near as simple and easy as I thought it was going to be. It's very stressful having to communicate with a department that is in shambles, and I just found out that my director is getting, I guess, transferred or something, so now I have a new coordinator for international affairs at my home university a week before I leave to go to Hong Kong, and stuff is just blowing up all over the place. But hey, I mean, I got myself into this mess, so we're gonna make it work somehow. It might be a little hectic along the way, but I'm up for it. I mean, life is full of adventures, unexpected turns, and you never know what you're gonna get, so you might as well play with the cards you're dealt. Anywho, Pokemon time. We're going through Victory Road right now, and this is, I guess I would call, the most difficult dungeon, cave, whatever, per se, to get through. Mostly because it's just the varying amount of levels you have to go through. The fact that you have to go between the second and third levels so many times to actually coordinate all of the stones being placed properly on switches, it can really get to be tedious at points, but it's nothing too complicated. I mean, this game is very simplistic and very crude at some points, but nonetheless, it still finds a way to make things a bit complicated, and it can cost you a little bit of time. So, if you can, I would recommend looking up a map online, finding one on a website like Bulbapedia, because that's what I did here. I mean, I figured, why scramble around wasting time trying to explore every area haphazardly when I can at least walk my way through this in some sort of sequential manner. And even then, when I did use the guide, I kind of screwed up a little bit. So this is going to be a rather long video, because it wasn't long enough to where I could split it up into 2 tries, and honestly, we're so close to the end anyway that I figured I might as well just get it out of the way. So after we get through the Victory Road, we go through the Elite Four, and then after that, I'm going to complete the Pokedex, starting at the first index. I already have Bulbasaur, and oh crap. I still haven't gotten Bulbasaur out of the daycare. Oh my god. Oh, jeez. I've had so much on my mind right now, I have not even thought about that. I can't remember when I put it. When did I put Bulbasaur in the daycare? Oh my god. It's been forever. I'm gonna have to take care of that as soon as I'm done recording this. This is gonna be so big by the time I get it out. Oh well, good thing I have Infi monies with all those nuggets I have. Yeah! Okay, so we're gonna start with Bulbasaur, whose spot is currently occupied, because obviously I have a Bulbasaur. And we're gonna work our way up to the very top and fill out the Pokedex in short order. Or long order, because there's kind of a lot to get. Anyway, Victory Road is incredibly simple, although it comes off as... My cell phone just went off, sorry about that. It gives off the impression of being unnecessarily complicated. However, it's quite simple once you step back and look at it from a glance. You just have to pan out and really take a good look at the map from a bird's eye view. Once you can see the entirety of the map, you notice, oh, this really isn't that difficult. But when you have that tiny Game Boy screen that only covers so many tiles of the map, it's kind of hard to piece together mentally. I think that's why, without having a guide or a walkthrough to help you piece through this, it's unnecessarily difficult. because you have to keep track of these little mental images in your head and try and piece the map together from scratch as you are moving through the map. So, wow. Now that I think about it, it's actually a lot more complicated than I would anticipate it to be. So, something to consider. Especially at this point in the game where you're like, I just want to get through it, gotta beat the game, so close and yet so far, why all these stupid brick walls getting in my way, that kind of thing. But yes, there's only a few more humps to hurdle. I gotta get through Victory Road. As soon as we get through Victory Road, I've gotta get my Dragonair up to a Dragonite. I have been level grinding for a while. Not quite there yet, but still close. And as soon as we get Dragonite, we'll have the Elite Four team fully assembled. And then at that point, it's just a matter of plowing through the Elite Four in a quick and timely fashion. I plan on doing that. With Mercadurka. I figured it's a momentous occasion. We gotta celebrate it properly. Commemorate the destruction of the best trainers in the game. So I'm gonna see if I can hook up a dual comm with him. Although he may be busy with college, and I may be busy with trying to pack up in Hong Kong. So I can't technically guarantee it, but I mean, I've known Taylor forever, so I'm pretty sure he'll be up for it. Besides, we could maybe do like a color commentary or something, like a football game, except Pokemon. Oh my god, that sounded really nerdy. I apologize. I have my nerdy tendencies, but that's because, I would identify myself as a nerd. I kind of like the outlandish things that most people wouldn't like. I love playing Pokemon. I love the Lord of the Rings, that kind of thing. I've played D&D before. That's like the ultimate threshold. Once you've crossed that line, there's absolutely no going back. You are just stuck forever within the realms of nerddom, and you are shackled down into ultimate geekery. But whatever. That's the path I've chosen, apparently. I mean, it's not all bad. I love doing what I do, because you get into all these specialty areas like Magic the Gathering, D&D, and Lord of the Rings, and all that cool stuff. Like, a lot of TV shows like The Big Bang Theory and things will try and stereotype the nerd or geek as someone who's just completely out of touch with society, and it's totally not true. But it's more like a special interest kind of thing. Like, people who are really good at sports are really good at sports because they invest a lot of time into it. That's what their passion is. Geeks have other passions. They just aren't exactly what people would call mainstream. So just because a guy isn't so great at football doesn't necessarily mean he's a weird person. He's just different. So yeah, I'm a nerd, and that's what you've learned today with Maximilian walking through Victory Road. See, this is the problem with Victory Road. This map is so big that it takes so much time to get through that I keep ranting on about these things that normally otherwise wouldn't come up. So I'm going to blame Victory Road for everything stupid that I say in this commentary. It should never happen again, because basically everything I'm going to do from here on out is completely straightforward. We're going to walk into 5 different rooms in the Elite Four, beat all the trainers, and then we're just going to catch Pokemon like crazy. And really, there shouldn't be anything difficult or tedious about that. It should just be like, bam, bam, done. Oh well, last time you get to hear me rant on a Pokemon video, hopefully. We're crossing the fingers there. But, you never know. Some Pokemon are hard to find, but I'm going to try and cut out all the time that I spend walking around in grass and not finding anything. I really hope it doesn't take me that long to find the other Pokemon, because I've actually stumbled across a lot of the harder ones to get, like Chansey and Clefairy, rather early in the game, by some stroke of luck, which is great. So hopefully it doesn't take me nearly as long to complete the Pokedex as I think it will. But at the rate I'm going, I think I may have to complete this in Hong Kong, which is not totally bad. I mean, it doesn't make a difference. It's not like you can actually see where I am recording this, so no skin off your back. But what I want to do, though, is I want to complete this series, this walkthrough. And then I'd like to get some video up from Hong Kong, because I'm taking my camera with me, and I'm definitely going to be shooting some video. So maybe I'll do like some kind of vlog entries. Maybe I've mentioned it before. I'd like to do something like that, because there's so much stuff that I'm going to have to do in Hong Kong. I only have 4 months to experience one of the biggest cities in the world, and it's a completely different culture, completely different setting. So I'm going to try and capture as much of that as possible, and hopefully put that up on YouTube, because it's not every day you get to see another part of the world. So I consider myself very fortunate that I'm able to go. And hopefully you guys will get to share some of that experience with me, since I'm going to be abroad, and I'm only going to know one other person there who is my roommate. And, gosh, I gotta have somebody to keep me company. I'm gonna be lonely. Surrounded by Asian people. Nothing wrong about Asian people, though. I love Asian people. Asian people are the greatest. I have tons of Asian friends, but it's a huge culture shock, though, because you're not used to seeing that. You're not used to being in a country where, like, there's one white person in every 100 or 1,000 or so people. It's totally different. And I don't know if it's, well, everyone keeps making the joke that everyone's going to be shorter over there. I really don't think that's the case. Like, I know technically they may be shorter, maybe not, but I figure, if Britain owned Hong Kong up until 1997, surely they're going to have some kind of influence on genetics there. Whatever, this is getting way too deep into a discussion on Chinese people. I am just looking forward to going there, and hopefully I don't get mugged and my money gets stolen or something else bad happens. I'm just hoping that everything goes smoothly, and if I can make it out in one piece, I will be happy. So that's my outlook for the next 7 days or so, as I prepare to fill 2 suitcases worth of everything that I'm going to need for the next 4 months, and hope that it's enough to get me through. So yeah, I'm under a lot of stress right now, so keep me in your thoughts. Because this is going to be crazy, but it's going to be fun. Now, as far as future for walkthroughs is concerned, I know some of you have requested that I do a walkthrough of a later generation game, like maybe Silver or Emerald, something like that. I don't want to say no, definitely, because there's not that thought in my head that, no, I'm never going to do this again, that kind of thing. But at the same time, I'm not sure if I'm going to pursue it while I'm in Hong Kong, just because I'm probably going to be busy moseying around the city, because my roommate is really outgoing, so he and I are probably going to travel like as much as humanly possible. So I probably won't even have that much time to actually sit down and hash my way through another walkthrough while I'm abroad. But I'm not totally leaving it out. I'm definitely considering it. If you have one that you would like a specific game to walk me through, if it's Pokemon, maybe it doesn't have to be Pokemon. I could probably do something like a Tales game, maybe, because I'm actually working my way through Tales of the Abyss now. I've owned that game for nearly 4 years, and I've almost beat it. I really don't want to have to go through the 4 years of owning a game and not beating it, because I'd feel just absolutely terrible, especially since I got it as a birthday gift from a really good friend of mine, so I'm going to try and beat that. But yeah, if you have a request for another Pokemon game, or even something just completely out there, let me know, and leave a comment on this video, or post something to my profile, because, after I get back from Hong Kong, it's just going to be back to the boring whole routine, so I figure I've got to have something to do. So since this channel's basically a walkthrough channel, I figured might as well do something different. So let me know your suggestions, that would be great. I'm always looking for new ideas. Maybe Pokemon niche is kind of worn off now that we've been through the entire game. Maybe you'd like to see something else. So any kind of feedback you can give is greatly appreciated. But just know that over the summer, I'm probably going to be pursuing an internship. So I might not have all the time in the world, but there's always the weekends and times when I'm not working. And trust me, after a long day of working, you'll know, once you're in college, you'll know what it's like to really need to unwind. Like, it's actually a necessity to your health. I will definitely be doing something in my spare time. So please give me ideas, because I'm horrible when it comes to taking initiative. So, yes, initiate something for me. That's basically what I'm telling you to do. I'm so lazy in taking advantage of it, but whatever. That's just the way it goes. Right now, you might see that I'm kind of scrambling around the map, and that's because I'm going to get Moltres. I just wanted to make sure that I found the exit, because I really want to get out of here as soon as possible. But Moltres is in Victory Road, It's kind of difficult to get to. You have to open a few barriers and climb through a various circuit of ladders, but it isn't too difficult once you've progressed your way through the map to a certain extent. And like every other Pokemon at this point in the game, just throw a Master Ball at it. Red and Blue make it way too easy with the glitch, so just go ahead and take advantage of that. Because you don't want to be like me in Yellow. I remember when I had my Yellow version, for whatever reason, I decided to throw my only Master Ball at the Moltres, which is actually a mediocre Pokemon anyway. And when I went to get Mewtwo, it probably took me a good 30 tries of resetting the game to actually get it with an Ultra Ball. Because it is just so impossibly hard to catch that Pokemon without a Master Ball. So I'd recommend that if you are playing a later version of the game like Yellow, and you don't have unlimited Master Balls, or maybe you're trying to do this like Puritan style with absolutely no glitching whatsoever, then don't use it on Moltres, because it's definitely not worth it. But yeah, there's Moltres, that's how you get to it. It's on the second floor, but it's surrounded by a various level of rocks, so you have to navigate tunnels and such. But all in all, it isn't too hard to get to. And that's the last of the legendary birds. So that's basically all of the super hard Pokemon to get, aside from Mewtwo, which you can't get anyway until we beat the Elite Four, so you'll just have to wait until then. But now I'm going to be exiting Victory Road, and going to be prepping up for the Elite Four. I'll be buying some items, kind of walking you through what I'd recommend, even if you're not glitching, what you should buy for items, pack for the Elite Four, how to assemble your team, all that jazz. So, keep watching for the next episode. I'll see you guys later.